Okay, so I thought I should make an introduction video before I do anything else because I think it's important to tell people a little bit about myself and talk about why I'm here. So, with that said, the reason I'm making a YouTube channel is because I want to try and interact with the pagan community that is here on YouTube. I have been lurking around for 2 years now, which is kind of pathetic, but I have some really incredible, like, bad anxiety problems. So I've been really, really afraid to do this until now, and it's actually taken me several months to work up the courage to finally do this. Um, but I want to meet other people and talk to other people, discuss things, learn from, make friends. Like, that's really why I'm here. So I'm not going to do um, videos like some of the people that I absolutely adore on here, such as like Charming Pixie Flora or Tiptoe Chick or Witch on the Rocks, where they kind of try and like explain things to you a little bit. I really am not qualified for that yet, so I'm going to probably be doing a lot more random stuff and just talking about things, and it's going to be more discussion oriented. Like, I don't expect anybody to agree with anything that I say, and I would appreciate actually if people would tell me when they do and don't agree with me so that we can talk about it, because that's how I learn. So, I will request before I go any further, I have, as I said, anxiety issues and bad self-esteem, so please be nice. If at all possible, try and be nice, because I'll probably be terribly, terribly sad. Um, I do want to talk to people, though. Like, that's why I'm here. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself before I expect people to just start talking to me magically. So, here we go. My name's Kyrie. It's not my real name, but that is the name that I go by 90% of the time. Almost everybody calls me that. And I actually play a medieval combat reenactment sport called Dagorhir, where we have character names and stuff, and that's what I go by, so most of the people that I know, that's how they are introduced to me in the first place, so that's what I go by. I go to college right now. I've been in college for 4 years. I will graduate next May. I'm 22 right now. I'll be 23 August 14th of next month, so I'm pretty close to that. I was a geology student for 3 years, and as you can imagine, I absolutely love rocks and crystals and all kinds of stuff like that. Nature in general, but especially rocks. So, I am the type of person you really, really don't want to bring on like a hiking trip, because I will just chatter at you about the geology the entire time, and you will very much wish that you had not brought me with you. You will get bored in an area way before I do, because I'll just be sticking my face in the dirt looking at stuff. So, I have a really pretty awesome collection of stuff, like rocks and crystals and all kinds of nifty things, and a lot of them I've actually picked up on my own because of geology field trips and things like that. So I have kind of a unique collection in that aspect. But I'm horrible, horrible at math. So I more or less took every class I could take up until I had to start taking the math requirements to graduate, and I realized, can't do this. Like, this is a terrible idea. So I changed my major briefly to education, and then realized while I was doing like my teaching observations that there was a good chance I might actually throttle one of the high schoolers I was teaching if I had to teach them, so perhaps that was not for me. um, and I've decided to do psychology, and I'm getting a Bachelor of Science in that, and I'll graduate next May. And I'm doing that because it's something I've been very, very passionate about my whole life, and for whatever reason, I always just considered that as something that I couldn't let myself do, like I had to do other things. I don't know why I did that. So I'm really, really happy with what I'm doing now, finally. Um, I live in Missouri, and I'm not going to tell you where, obviously. I'm not going to tell you which school I go to, but I will tell you that it is not MU. So don't put that on me. That's all I'm saying. Um, I am engaged. My fiance is a wonderful, wonderful man named Ian. He is going to graduate next May as well, with a history degree. We've been engaged for a year already. Actually, we've been together for 5 years as of Thursday next week, as a matter of fact. But we wanted to wait to get married till we were both done being in our college town, so We've been dating since high school, actually. It was kind of ironic how that worked out. But anyway, I love him to death, and I will probably talk about him a lot, so I apologize in advance. I have 2 cats that I absolutely adore, and they're like my children, like, legitimately. I treat them as if they were my children, and I spoil them, which is probably terrible. One's name is Fat Cat. He's obviously a larger animal. The other's name is Lou. Lou is not a boy. Originally I thought Lou was a boy because that's what the animal shelter told me, but she's not, so they were wrong. I work at the writing center on campus, so I'm a writing tutor, and as such, I'm like a grammar Nazi, but I don't correct other people's stuff, but I do, like, I itch to, like, fix manuscripts and, like, all kinds of stuff like that. So if anyone for any reason needs, like, someone to proofread something, I would be happy to do that. Just saying, like, that's something that's, like, a major, major hobby of mine, and I actually get paid for it, so whatever. More importantly, I should probably talk about paganism, because that's why I'm here. So, I have been pagan for 12 years. I started, actually, when I was in, like, 4th or 5th grade, so it's been a while now. I was not allowed to practice growing up, and I've always been pretty upfront with my family about this. So my family's Catholic, and they didn't want me, they were always kind of hoping that I would also be Catholic, but they didn't want to force me into something I didn't want to do. So they let me read all the books I wanted, have all the stuff I wanted, with the understanding that I was not allowed to do really anything until I turned 18 or left for college or whatever, which I did. And so, like, more or less almost all of the stuff that I own pagan-wise, which is well over 100 books and several large boxes worth of stuff. Like, I have a lot of things. 90% of that came from my mom, actually. My mom bought me almost all of it. So my family's very supportive. But my fiance's family is very, very, very Christian. So I can't really talk about my religious stuff a whole lot on, like, Facebook or anything like that, and I have to hide some of it for the time being. I don't plan to do that forever, but I want to wait until he and I are married so that his mom can't cause problems for us, because she's kind of caused enough strife here and there over other issues already. So I don't want to add more fuel to the fire, basically. So keeping it on the DL for now. I'm solitary. I've always been solitary. I've had pagan friends growing up, but I never actually practiced with them. And regrettably, all of them are graduated, moved away. I lost touch through high school. Like, we're just not close anymore, so I don't have any pagan friends anymore. There is a pagan community where I live, but because of my anxiety issues, I am, like, way too scared to actually go and try and talk to people or whatever, because I've only started practicing, like, actually practicing more recently, so I feel like a total noob, even though, like, I know information, but just because you read a manual doesn't mean you actually know how to do something, so I feel like a noob. And I am hoping that by making friends through YouTube and talking about my practice more and becoming more familiar with myself and how I relate to other pagans this way, I'll feel more comfortable trying to meet people face to face. That's my goal, like, really, that's my real goal here. So I guess more or less, I really, really hope that people talk to me and want to discuss things with me. Like, if you don't agree with something I say, that's awesome. Be nice about it, but tell me. And I would love to discuss things with you. That's the whole reason I'm here, is I want to learn what other people think. So, with that said, I think I'm going to stop for now. I guess I look forward to maybe or maybe not talking to you guys in the future, so see you around.